trifling people who told me my style would not work. I told them they wrong, been struggling too long. This song is for you, I'm proving you wrong. Get out my way, get out my way, get out my way, get out my way. I'm a genuine person. Like if I love you, I love you. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. It's as simple as that.
I say a prayer every night. Whatever I do, I'll get it right. With no regrets, no guilt or shame this time. No, not this time. Once I surrender, I won't dare look back. 'Cause if I do, I'll get off track. Move ahead in faith and patiently await your answer. What will it be? Sight beyond what I see. You know what's best for me. Prepare my mind, prepare my heart for whatever comes. I'm gonna be ready, strength to pass any test. I feel like I'm so blessed with you in control. I can't go wrong, 'cause I always know I'm gonna be ready. I was free to do what I wanted to. Lost everything, but I still had you. You showed me your grace. Now my life's renewed, and I thank you. Yes, I thank you. So I'll tell anyone who'll listen, I'll testify about how good you were to me when so-called friends passed me by. The fact that you would show somebody so broke down, so much mercy. Beyond what I see, you know what's best. I know you know what's best for me. Prepare my mind, prepare my heart. For whatever comes, I'm gonna be ready. Any test, I feel like I know so blessed. You're in control. I can't go wrong. I know that I'm gonna be ready. I'll be ready. So use me as you will. I'll pay the price. You made the ultimate sacrifice. Oh, because of you that I even have life. And I give my love as a tribute to how great you are. Sight beyond what I see. You know what's best. You know what's best for me. Prepare my heart. Prepare my mind. Whatever comes, I'm gonna be ready. I wanna pass this test. I feel like I am, know that I'm so blessed. You're in control, 'cause I can't go wrong. And I know that I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready. This time I'm gonna be ready. 'Cause you're in deep inside of me. I'm gonna be ready. And I know it's in your will for me to be I'm gonna be
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Atmos in the Morning, where y'all know we're going to talk about a couple of things that's going on that affects you and in your community, that affects your wallet, that affects the politics in your area, that affects your children, that affects your way of life. And then we talk about a little bit of entertainment just to kind of sprinkle it in, just to kind of let y'all understand that a lot of this stuff I simply cannot make up. Okay, so you are watching a pre-recorded live from the night before. As y'all know, right now, as y'all are watching this, I am on my way to Fort Benning so that I can watch my son graduate today. I did go, and I was able to go to his ceremony, and I was honored to be able to go up to him and present him with his blue ribbon. It was really a touching moment. When you see how many fathers that are around and hugging their sons, and the sons crying, and the fathers, it's one of them things I'll never ever forget. I can't lie. I'm a strong man, but I did shed a tear, man, because I was just so proud. Just so proud of him. I want to show y'all a picture of my son that I took today with him. Let me go over here. Let me go here, and let me pull this up. This is us right here. This was today. Let me get out the way so y'all can actually see the picture. So as you see, that's me, and that's him today. Very proud of him. Very proud of him. Son, if you see this, Daddy, love you. I'm proud of you. I'm on my way to you right now, so it's all good. But they had like a family fun day, and so we went bowling. We went to eat. We went to this museum where they had all this you can simulate virtual reality war type situations. If you ever get a chance to visit Fort Benning, the museum there, it is amazing. It gives you a whole different way to feel about the military and the people that came before us and the people who died for this country. And they have a whole World Trade Center memorial out there where you just see miles of the names of people that aren't here anymore. So, it's something that if you're in Georgia or you visit Georgia, it's a place that you would definitely want to visit if you want to see some true history. They showed you all the old uniforms and the first, machine guns and the tanks and the helicopters and
some old footage of some of the stuff that the soldiers went through. A lot of stuff on Black history, a lot of stuff on some of the Black platoons that were out there. Like it's amazing, y'all. You really got to check it out. Okay. So today, I want to welcome everybody once again. If you're in here, I am in the chat right now. I am actually live in the chat with y'all as y'all are watching this pre-recorded video. Today is August the 13th of 2021. So y'all are here with me. So I'm probably typing in the chat saying hello to y'all as we speak. Okay. So a couple things I want to go over today, y'all. Y'all know I have to start off with some real life stuff. Okay. Now this right here is pretty serious because I've been talking to y'all lately a lot about they are going to start mandating these companies and businesses to vaccinate their employees. Well, another company has jumped on the bandwagon, and let me show y'all who that is. I'm sharing my screen. So as y'all see here, the HHS mandates COVID-19 vaccinations for the healthcare workforce. Okay, this came out of the Politico. It shows here that the Department of Health and Human Services is requiring all of its front-facing healthcare employees to get vaccinated against COVID-19, making it the second federal department to mandate vaccinations for a portion of its workforce. The policy announced Thursday will apply to more than 25,000 officials under the Health and Human Services sprawling umbrella, including staff at the Indian Health Services and the National Institutes of Health, who operate health and clinical research facilities or could come into contact with patients. The U.S. Public Health Service commissioned corps, which consists of more than 6,000 health workers who respond to public health crisis around the country, will also be included under the mandate. Our number one goal is the health and safety of the American public, including our federal workforce. And the vaccines are the best tool we have to protect people from COVID-19 and prevent the spread of the Delta variant and save lives, the HHS Secretary Xavier Becerra said. The government's approach mirrors the vaccine mandate rolled out by the Department of Veteran Affairs in late July, after the Biden administration lawyers determined that it was legal for private businesses and public agencies to require COVID-19 vaccinations. So if you wonder if it was legal for them to make you get this shot or find somewhere else to work, it actually is if your company is a private business or a public agency. On Thursday, the VA expanded its mandate to include most employees, contractors, and volunteers who work in the Veterans Health Administration facilities or otherwise come into contact with VA patients and health workers, a population that the White House later pegged at about 350,000 workers. The Department of Defense recently signaled plans to require service members to get the vaccine as well, amid a coronavirus resurgence driven by the Delta variant. Nationwide, daily news cases have skyrocketed in the last month, reaching levels not seen since early February. The HHS will also apply to contractors, trainees, and volunteers whose responsibilities put them in potential contact with patients at a federal or clinical research facility. An HHS official told Politico that the department estimates 20 to 30% of the population covered by the mandate is currently unvaccinated. based on those who voluntarily reported their status. It says here, still the requirements ultimately cover just a fraction of the department's entire workforce, which totals more than 80,000 employees across 11 operating divisions. The rest will be subject to a government-wide policy that requires workers to get vaccinated or submit to a slew of precautions, including regular COVID-19 testing, mask wearing, and travel restrictions. So they're going to make it very miserable for you not to get vaccinated. Okay. So someone was asking, is the vaccine and mask mandate legal? Let's see what this says real quick.
So as most of the country is enjoying grocery shopping without a mask, attending summer concerts again, I know I've got my tickets to a few shows this fall, and feeling the general freedoms of everyday life before the COVID-19 pandemic, the Delta variant is making governments reverse course.
We are still in the midst of a once-in-a-generation pandemic, battling an ever-evolving virus. And the reality is we are dealing with a much different strain of this virus than we were even earlier in the spring.
The rising threat of coronavirus variants, particularly the Delta variant, have forced governments, both globally and statewide here in the United States, to consider another round of mask and vaccine mandates. We're not out of the woods, and sadly, we're taking a step backwards. So a little bit more about the Delta variant that you're probably hearing a lot about. It's a highly contagious SARS-CoV-2 virus strain of coronavirus. It was first identified in India at the end of last year. People with the Delta variant seem to have higher levels of the virus in them, and it is studies have shown that it is twice as transmissible as the original strain of this coronavirus. And scientists have even seen some early data that highly unvaccinated regions are serving as incubators for the new variant. We are in the United States seeing a pandemic of the unvaccinated because of the Delta virus colliding with unvaccinated regions of the country. By mid-2021, the Delta variant had become responsible for 90% of the cases in the UK. And it was just at a moment when the UK was fully trying to open up and had thought that perhaps they'd beat the pandemic. So the Delta variant there in the UK was linked with another spike and a return to extended lockdowns across the country. This is the week that many in the media described as the tipping point in terms of mandates saying, you know what, if you want to come work in our organization, you need to be vaccinated. Probably the most newsworthy of these announcements was from the Veterans Administration. The VA will now mandate COVID-19 vaccine among all its medical employees, including at all veterans health officials. The administration is being a little political about this and careful how they tread into the mandate, into anything with the word mandate. This was a test. What will the reaction be? Will people understand that these are both healthcare workers and vets, two groups that obviously need to be protected? Employees who provide direct patient care have 8 weeks to get vaccinated, where they face possible penalties, signaling what some experts said could be a national pivot to such requirements. By mandating things, by forcing people, by making it seem like people have no choice, you can harden resistance to the vaccine. If people believe that the government is making them take a drug that the FDA has not given final approval to, which is a very big talking point to people who are anti-vaccine, it'll have the opposite effect, and it'll make people even more stubbornly against getting the jab.
Will you require all federal employees to get vaccinated?
That's under consideration right now, but if you're not vaccinated, you're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
New York City announced that the city is now requiring all municipal workers to get coronavirus vaccines by mid-September, or they have to face weekly testing. So there is an opt-out. There are an estimated 340,000 municipal workers in New York City, which includes teachers and police officers, making it one of the largest employers in the United States to issue stricter vaccines, so even larger than the VA. Out in California, Governor Gavin Newsom is now requiring state employees and all healthcare workers to show proof of their COVID-19 vaccination or to get tested weekly. Also this week, the Mayo Clinic announced that all employees by September 27th will be required to get the vaccine or required to undergo new training and agree to special mitigation protocols that include social distancing and mandated mask wearing while on campus. They employ over 4,500 physicians and scientists, over 58,000 administrative and other staff members across 3 campuses in 3 states, Minnesota, Florida, and Arizona. Florida and Arizona have been sites of lots of vaccine hesitancy and surging COVID cases. So a lot of private sector entities are looking to the federal government to learn, are our vaccine mandates legal or not? So the Justice Department did put out guidance and announced that requiring these mandates is not prohibited under federal law. I think a lot of these institutions are hoping that the opt-out is more of a pain in the neck than just getting the vaccine. The White House has been asked about this, and naturally they say they don't, want to get involved politically.
And the fact that they are always going to be driven by the speed of science. They're going to have extensive data they look into. They're going to have the best health and medical experts making that conclusion. That will maintain confidence over the long term.
But there are a lot of folks who believe, both in politics and health experts, who believe that stumbling block, that FDA full sign off on the vaccine, may be a way to expand the number of people who are willing to get vaccinated. Bob.
So, listen, I know we have a lot of healthcare workers out here. You healthcare workers out here are so essential. You all are extremely valuable. Like we can't do this without y'all. We can't continue to save lives without you all. So I encourage you to, if you are hesitant about it, pray on it and seek peace from God about it. There are people getting the shot that were scared to get the shot, that were nervous about it. Myself being one of those people. I did end up getting my shot. I have another one I'm going to be taking on around the 28th for my second shot, but my side effects have just been a sore arm, and so it was only sore for one day, and I don't feel anything today. I didn't feel anything yesterday. So, just do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. I don't want people to run into stories like this here. This is extremely sad situation. Here we go. So it says here, this lady says, "Look at my child." Furious mother shares images of her daughter, who is 9, fighting COVID as she pleads for masks and jabs. A distraught mother from Tennessee has shared the story of her 9-year-old daughter who has been fighting COVID-19 complications from the last 14 days in a direct plea to Americans to get vaccinated. Mersada Murick, who is 26, whose daughter Blair was put in on a ventilator for a brief time and a feeding tube later, was lashing out at people refusing to wear masks and spreading the COVID misinformation. Look at my child. This is why people are afraid. This is why people beg for you to wear a mask. Why are you hurting? Who are you hurting by wearing one? What freaking rights are you losing? She said to one of the angry Facebook posts on July 31st sharing a picture of her daughter on a ventilator. An alarming number of children have been infected with COVID across the United States, straining pediatric hospitals in certain areas as schools begin to reopen for in-person learning. More than 1,400 children have been hospitalized with COVID-19, according to the most recent data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Some children's hospitals in Louisiana and Texas are reporting bed shortages. Ms. Murick said that she is anguished to see people complain about the possibility of another mask mandate or making jokes while she is praying for her daughter to pull through. Because while I sit here and watch a machine breathe for my baby, you are outliving, the mother of three said. I can't visit with my other child because I am here. You think it's funny that people are so afraid of a harmless virus? Watch yourself around me. This is the harm you could call. This is the harm you caused because you couldn't bring yourself to wear a freaking mask. So this right here is a little girl, 9 years old. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor in February, which was successfully removed during surgery but left permanent damage, the family said on a GoFundMe page. After days of worrying, updates of Blair's high fever, the 9-year-old was taken off the ventilator on August 7th, and her feeding tube was also taken out. She remains in intensive care unit, showing signs of recovery, but contracted COVID and respiratory syncytial virus in July. She was discharged from the hospital before she was again admitted with severe pneumonia, causing fluid buildup in her left lung. Golly, not to function. See how sad this is, man. This is a baby. Her illness is not the only hardship for the family lately. Her father unexpectedly passed away in the same month in July. Her mother also tested positive. While Blair's in the hospital, leaving her unable to visit her. Y'all, this right here is what I call we'll be living in hell. We'll be living in a impossible situation where that his mom has COVID. So she can't visit her daughter who is fighting for her life. It's sad. It's very sad. It's very and the crazy part about it is I got a phone call today from one of my employees who told me that his brother had COVID before and got it again. Now, excuse me if I'm ignorant when I say what I'm about to say, but how in the hell can you get COVID, recover from it, and not protect yourself enough to make sure you don't get it again? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. So he got it the second time because he was working at his job at, I believe it's fast food place. And I guess a customer came in and breathed in his face and gave him COVID. He said it had to come from his job. He said that after this customer came in, his nose started to burn. He said it felt like fire. His nose was on fire. And the reason why he said, you know what, I think I just got COVID again, is because the first time he got COVID, he said his nose felt like it was on fire. He went and told his boss, I need to leave. I believe I just contracted COVID. These are the symptoms, and I remember these symptoms from last time I had COVID. So not only is this young man sick, but he has his 90-year-old father staying with him, who is now sick. Yeah. And then I got one of my employees that, man, I don't know what to do. You know, my brother got COVID again, probably done gave it to my father. It's a rough situation. So I'm going to continue to encourage people to do what's best for their families. You don't want to be giving phone calls like that or having to deal with that kind of stuff in your family. Okay? Here's another part, something else that came up today. Now, we're talking about these eviction moratoriums that's going around right now, because there are a lot of people that are struggling, you know what I'm saying, to pay their rent right now. But in this story, it looks like the Supreme Court has blocked a part of the eviction memorandum. I want to see exactly what they blocked about this here, because let me share this here with y'all. Let me share. Here we go. So it says here that New York, or the Supreme Court, blocks part of New York's eviction memorandum. Moratorium. Moratorium. It says the Supreme Court on Thursday temporarily blocked part of an eviction moratorium put in place by New York State amid the coronavirus pandemic. The order is unsigned, but appeared to break along familiar ideological lines over the dissent of the court's three liberals. The ruling temporarily lifts part of New York's policy, which had precluded landlords from challenging a tenant's self-certified claim of financial hardship and attestation that had automatically paused eviction proceedings under the policy. But the order does not interfere with the tenant's ability to mount a so-called hardship defense in an eviction court proceeding. The court's unsigned order will remain in place while a legal challenge plays out in New York-based federal appeals court. In it, the majority wrote that the New York policy appeared to violate landlords' due process right to a hearing in the face of a tenant's claimed inability to pay rent. This scheme violates the court's longstanding teaching that ordinarily no man can be a judge in his own case, consistent with the due process clause, they wrote. The application filed by a group of 5 New York property owners and a landlords association was submitted to Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who handles emergency matters arising from New York and who referred the matter to the rest of the justices. Sotomayor and fellow liberal justices Elena Kagan and Stephen Breyer dissented with the majority's Thursday order. Breyer, in a 5-page dissenting opinion, noted that the challenged New York law is set to expire in less than 3 weeks, that the Empire State is currently distributing more than $2 billion in rental aid to cash-strapped renters, and that the property owners had been rebuffed in lower courts. Under these circumstances, such drastic relief would only be appropriate if, under if the legal rights at issue. We're indisputably clear, even then sparingly, and only in the most critical and exigent circumstances, I conclude that the strict standard is not met here, Breyer wrote. The legislature does not enjoy unlimited discretion in formulating that response. He continued, but in case I would not second guess politically accountable officials' determination of how best to guard and protect the people of New York. So this is one of them things, y'all. It looks like the landlords are starting to say, hey, you know, these people saying that they can't afford to pay us, but, you know, somebody put in there that people was buying boats. Yeah, that's a hard one. Somebody say they can't afford to pay their rent, but they out buying a boat. It's like, how you able to do that, right? I don't know. So I could definitely understand a landlord's frustration with this rental moratorium thing going on. People are probably about to have their houses foreclosed on because a lot of them pay money out their pocket. You know what I'm saying? From the rent to keep the places up. So I pray that this thing works out for people that really need the assistance, and they found a way to make sure that the people who don't need it don't get it. Okay. And then I need y'all to understand that now this right here was really, really, really troublesome to read. This was very troublesome to read. And I want y'all to see what I am talking about. It looks like this Atlanta mother alleges that Black students were assigned to elementary school classes based on their race. Let me let y'all see what I'm looking at here. Based on their race, huh? It says here, Atlanta mother alleges that Black students were assigned to elementary school classes based on their race. The mother, a mother in Atlanta has filed a civil rights complaint with the United States Department of Education, alleging her children's elementary school placed Black students in separate classrooms from their peers based on their race. Kyla Posey, the mother of 2 Black children enrolled at Mary Lynn Elementary School in Atlanta, said some classes in that school had been formulated in part based upon the race of the students during the 2020 and 2021 academic year. According to the complaint provided by her attorney, Cherie Shields, Posey said that the principal assigned 2 teachers classes as the Black classes. And about 13 Black second grade students were assigned to only those 2 second grade classes. To our knowledge, the principal designated these Black classes without the knowledge or consent of the families of the affected Black students. Instead, she unilaterally decided what was the best interest for the Black students, regarding them or relegating them to only those classes she deemed appropriate. Posey wrote in the complaint dated July 22nd. It says here, meanwhile, the placement of the white students was not restricted. They were able to be placed in any of the 6 second grade classes, she said. According to the complaint with the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights, the assistant principal at the school admitted in a recorded phone call that she was aware of the class separation the principal created, noting that class lists are always tough and that she wished the school had more Black children. CNN has reviewed the recording preference in the complaint, which was provided by Shields. The elementary school has 599 students in grades kindergarten through 5th. According to the Georgia Department of Education latest data, of those, 60 students are Black, according to the ethnicity and race breakdown. The second grade class has 98 students, 12 of whom are Black and 81 are white, the data shows. Ian Smith, who heads the Atlanta Public Schools Office of Communications and Public Engagement, told CNN that the district conducted a review of the allegations and that appropriate actions were taken to address the issue, and the matter was closed. Smith added, Atlanta Public Schools does not condone the assigning of students in classroom based on their race. The principal named in the complaint still holds her position, according to Maryland Elementary School website. Posey wants more to be done, saying that she and her husband face retaliation for expressing their concerns over the class separation, the complaint says. She is asking that the Office of Civil Rights for help to help in the practice of designating certain classes as the only classes that Black students can be placed in at Mary Lynn. In addition, I would like the APS, Atlanta Public Schools, to remove the entire leadership team at Mary Lynn, Posey wrote in her request to the OCR. The administrators have demonstrated poor professional judgment by instituting this discriminatory practice and subsequently engaging in retaliatory acts. As such, they should not be trusted to make educational decisions for my children or any other children. In the complaint, she said that she and her husband suffered retaliatory acts after they spoke against the discriminatory class separation at school. The principal allegedly requested that Posey's husband, who has been serving as the school psychologist at the school for 8 years, be transferred to another school, Posey wrote in the complaint. Posey is a former Atlanta Public Schools employee who now runs her own business, the Club After School, which offers after-school programs at schools of APS and DeKalb County School District, according to the complaint. The principal allegedly attempted to cut Posey's services from school, according to a conversation she had with Yolanda Brown, who is the chief academic officer at APS, with whom a recorded phone call conversation also took place, the complaint says. Posey said she's been running the school's after-school program since 2018. The complaint says the Education Department spokesperson told CNN that the Office for Civil Rights may not confirm complaints prior to opening an investigation. Could be a bad situation for that school. With recorded conversations and all that kind of stuff. Like, if you got any kids that go to that school, you should look into that to make sure and see if your kids in one of them classes and hop on that thing and make it a class action, because y'all might be getting some bread. But I hope and pray that this is not what the story says it is. That would be horrible if it is. Okay. But y'all, listen, man, I just wanted to come at y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for everybody that's in the chat. I love y'all. I will holler at y'all on next Monday. I will be live on next Monday, not a pre-recorded, but sometimes you got to take care of family. But I wanted to put the time in and take care of y'all too, to make sure that y'all are getting this information, because y'all need to hear it. Okay, listen, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. And enjoy yourselves. Make sure you are masking up everywhere you go. I don't care if you've been vaccinated. Wear your mask. Alcohol. When you go to the store, when you open the door, make sure you get some type of alcohol or sanitizer and clean off your hands. Don't go to no stores touching on no buggies and then putting your hands on your face and all that. No. Stop all that. Stop. Don't be shaking nobody's hands. Don't be none of that. You need to focus on what you're doing when you go out. Okay? I love y'all. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. you.